You said you need a thing?
Oh, yeah. So a little introduction. Uh, Take it away, Jarvis.
It's the same as all the other ones. Welcome, full-time movie fans. Welcome back. Glad to have you.
It's been a minute for us.
Yeah, it's
Probably
been
like 3 days for you.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. Hopefully, you just finished watching one of our other videos, and now you're joining us for this one. But for us, it's been a little bit since we've been in the same room with microphones and stuff to talk about a movie.
And we're in a different room. Well, same
Yeah,
room as a couple of them.
Yeah, you'll notice a few things that are different for the better.
Jarvis notices a lot of things that are different.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We have cameras. Are you ready? We also have a technical director doing things. So we got this one right here. We got that one right there. And we have that one right there.
Oh.
They're all cameras. You switched them wrong? We'll do it again. There's this one right here. And then that one right there. And then that one right there. We have 3 cameras. Everything's different for us. And we're talking about different movies.
Yeah,
we've got
quite the list.
Yeah, this one's game night.
Yeah, this is okay. So first off, this is a movie that you probably have not seen
because I didn't.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't even think I don't feel like the advertisement was pushed on even when it was new.
No, and they didn't really clarify what the movie was about in the advertisement because game night seemed like it was going to be some like satire about board games.
Yeah. Which it's not. So
no, it's like a dark comedy thriller.
Yeah, it's pretty. Okay. So here's the thing, and
being generous, by the way.
I told Michael this, that game night. So it just has a special. Oh, excuse me. Sparkling water, a special place in my heart, just because it came out around my birthday several years ago.
Yeah,
and so
oh no,
my friends were just kind of like, "Hey, what do you want to do for your birthday?" I was like, "I want to go see this movie because it looks funny."
Sorry, I there was a cord demon attacking the courts.
You had to exercise it real quick. So that had this because it was a birthday thing. It was something that I did with my friends and roommates at the time.
Yeah, I have a few of those movies.
Yeah, so it's definitely. So here's the thing: as a casual, first time in a new spot.
Give me 5 seconds. Keep talking.
He's got to exercise some more demons, so to speak. So. But it really, for me, it was just, this is one of those movies that you have to, you can't go in with there it is. It's definitely a movie that it's one that you want to just sit back, turn your brain off, and then just watch it.
Yeah. It's very self-aware.
Yeah. It's not one so if you're just like a very casual moviegoer, I would say, I think you're gonna really love it. So for this type of movie, because there's levels, right? We've talked about this. There's levels with how into movies are you. Mm-hmm. Like I'm above average, like above casual.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm a tour.
Yeah, he's in another state higher.
I'm in this movie was dumb and it knows it's dumb.
Yeah, I'm in a I just love the movie because it's hilarious and I love Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
So much, and I also love Rachel McAdams. I think she's freaking hilarious in comedy roles. Rachel McAdams, for some of you guys, if you're like, who's that? I don't know. She was in Mean Girls. She was the leader of the Mean Girls. I forget her name though. But yeah, she was the blonde one that was the main bad one.
Regina.
Yeah, Regina.
Her name's Regina George.
Yeah, that was her character. So, but I don't know. I would say if you just want to have a casual movie night, like something that, probably give you some giggles and make you feel like you're having a good time a little bit, then I'd say I highly recommend it.
You wanna know how I categorized it?
Yes, please.
It's a dad movie.
A dad movie?
It's a dad movie.
Okay, explain.
It's goofy. It's got action. Pretty solid action sequences too, actually. And you could easily convince somebody that it wasn't supposed to be an action movie.
Yeah.
Going into it.
Yeah.
Like, Sybil watched it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was kind of into it because of the idea of board games. And then it turned into, like, a weird thriller action thing. And to be fair, I wasn't that into it either. But I think she kind of checked out halfway through. Started asking me about, like, baby names.
Yeah, so this is, to me, it's kind of like, not as much, but it reminds me of like an Adam Sandler movie in the sense of it's a little wacky.
Yeah.
But at the core of it, there is still like a good message. Which is, you know, you see the characters, they're trying to figure out what their next stage of life looks like. Jason, like, there's a whole conflict between the two of them that doesn't really show up until later on in the movie.
Yeah,
about them, like,
it's kind of my problem, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, when we get there, we'll get there. But I don't know. I thought it was like kind of neat.
I mean, yeah, it's part of the reason why I feel like it's a dad movie, because it's like, oh yeah, I feel like I go through stages of my life where I don't know what I'm doing, and so now we're in a weird stage where. Whatever. I want to hear you give us the sales pitch for why people should watch the movie.
Sales pitch, sheesh, man!
And then I'm going to do the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a fun little game that we're playing on this one.
Here's the thing. Like, when it comes to, it's just, for me, it's a fun, entertaining movie. If you like dry humor, if you like humor that's a little bit wacky and crazy, there's some hilarious bits. And that's the thing, is like, I think I'm gonna try to convince you, because as we go through the movie, the bits are so funny in this movie that's what makes it for me.
It has its moments.
So like Jason Bateman, if you know anything about him, his sense of humor and in the movies that he plays is like very dry, which I love. It's more observational humor. Like, he'll make a side quip here that like you could miss if you're not paying attention. But I love that. Rachel McAdams is just, I mean, phenomenal. I think she's really hilarious with the physical comedy and stuff like that. She's got some great lines that are just funny.
What about the ensemble cast? I
mean, it's phenomenal. Again, Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me what some names. I guess I could just look them up.
No, I got you.
Yeah. If you've seen New Girl,
it's Lamorne Morris.
Yes,
I feel bad if I said his name wrong.
He's
great. Always great, though.
Dude, he's so great.
He's always great.
There's the brother.
Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, Kyle Chandler. He was in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the fourth wall for a second. I want all of you to know I don't remember these people's names. I do have IMDb on my phone every time. And I just look it up and I'm like, yeah, this person.
Just trying to, well, here's the thing, and just trying to remember in the moment too.
It's hard.
You just blank. Like, because I've rewatched some of our old videos, I'm like, oh, dude, you know that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
As soon as it's this.
Talk about trivia.
Yeah.
We're bad at it.
Yeah. And we're easily distracted. So to get back on track here, you should watch it because it's just a fun movie. It's about friendship. It's about life and how the ebbs and flows of how your priorities change in life. And it's just it's just a little bit wild. It's a little bit crazy. Like, you're just like, wow, there's no way this is real, or this has ever happened or could ever happen. But the characters are just so funny. Even though, what's his name? The next door neighbor, the cop.
I love him. His name's Gary in the movie.
Dude, he's so good.
And his
that's what I'm saying is like
actual name
characters, the beats are hilarious. So like, I mean, I guess everybody has a different sense of humor, but I don't think that there are very many like just comedies that are coming out these days.
Jesse Plemons.
Yes, phenomenal. So
he's in some really good movies too.
Yeah, he's got a great amount of
actual really good movies.
Yeah. So
and he's a great actor.
The cast
he carried the movie.
The cast is phenomenal. You know, the acting and stuff is great. Yeah. Like I said, if you just want to have a good time, I personally think, and again, this is noting that everybody has a different sense of humor, I thought it was just so funny. Like, it wasn't like, oh, like laughing out loud, just like pushing stuff off tables. It's so funny. But it's funny, and I love thinking about it. I love talking about it because, and there is some bias again because it was it was on a birthday, and I had a really good time that day.
You got to hang out with friends.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other things
to experience movie night. Watching game night.
Yes. So that's why you should watch it. If you want to have a good time, if you have a good sense of humor, if you're smart, if you're smart, if you're someone who is
dumb,
successful.
You'll hate this movie.
Yeah, if you were smart, you have a high intellect, you're probably gonna love this movie and you're gonna have a good time with it. So what you were saying about you didn't like it? I'm just kidding.
All right, forget about this man for a minute. All right,
I'm just kidding, but I think it's for sure worth a watch, for sure, 100%.
Everybody, close your eyes. Imagine this: you're walking into a movie theater. It's 2018. You could be going in to watch other movies like
came out in 2018. I don't know. A lot of other movies that weren't.
I'm gonna say La La Land.
I
think that was 2017. You have many choices. You pick game night. And you think to yourself, man, this was okay. But it could have been better. See, if you like dark comedies and thrillers, this movie might be for you. But if you like good dark comedies and good thrillers, probably watch something else. This movie thinks it's very clever and very self-aware. It's got like 3 fake-out twists, and I did count. And it thinks it's so like high concept and predictable or unpredictable. It was extremely predictable. I think we were 5 minutes in, and I turned to Sybil, and I was like, the cop neighbor, it's him. He was the one who's, whatever it is, that's getting set up, it's all him. And then Sybil also said, she's pointing at herself, Sybil also said, something about it like somebody else set it up entirely, not the brother. We'll get to this. This is a spoilery. Yeah. This is a spoilery should you watch it. And then we get to the middle part of the movie, and I'm like, told you. Called it. She did too. And then I said, it'd make this movie really good. Again, more spoilers. Is if for some reason the brother actually had this all set up properly all at the same time. And then at the very end, he, like, which part I'm talking about. And we'll get to it shortly. Where he was like, and you did it. You won game night. Congrats. Just kidding. Wouldn't that be crazy, though? That's not funny. That's the writer going, if I was a better writer, this be good, right? But I'm not. Haha, very funny. It's just not. I mean, like, it's a clever little quip, but it's a clever little quip that, like, obfuscates better writing. And sure, it's fun for, like, a little joke, and it's very self-aware. And the writer knows that he's not the best. Which is fine. Like, you don't have to be the best writer to write a great movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's any claims to these.
There definitely isn't.
Yeah,
and that's totally fine. I'm not going to fault the writer for being a writer. Like, it's a decent movie, and it got made, and that's a big deal. But there's always something better you could watch, and you should definitely watch something better. That's my pitch.
Well, I actually while you were talking, not with me disrespectful, but I did happen to look up the other comedies that were out.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 2018, Tag.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so that's yeah.
Yeah. So she said it's a good one.
It's a group of friends that just play tag throughout the years. I actually walked out of this movie. Holmes and Watson, Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly.
You're right for that one.
I actually walked out of that one. Overboard, the remake.
Don't know that one.
Okay, you know the original.
I don't.
Really?
No.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, it's Kurt Russell?
Yes.
I love that.
Remade with Anna Faris, and I forget the other guy's name. I'm not going to look it up right now. Night School with Kevin Hart. Cock Blockers.
Nope, haven't seen that one. I also heard it was bad.
Game Over Man.
Also probably bad.
The Week Of.
Okay.
Father Year.
So
I Feel Pretty. No, but so here's what I'm saying.
So what I'm hearing is that there's not a good set of movies from 2018.
The point I'm trying to make is that comedies, I think just comedy movies are becoming so rare. Mm-hmm. And when you look at what was out in 2018,
yeah, it's very obvious.
I think that this is more of a standout. I think it's such a funny thing. And again, once we get into the actual story of the movie, I'll be able to go and explain the bits and why they are so hilarious. Which, again, I think part of for me loving a movie is being able to reminisce about it and think fondly on it, which I do about this, not just because of nostalgia, but because of the bits are just so funny. And I've rewatched this movie probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and I still,
that's crazy.
Dude, I just have a good time with it. I think it's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
my birthday movie, just for reference, Aragon.
Oh, okay.
Aragon came out on my birthday.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Let's talk about this plot.
Let's talk about it.
So, we watched it last night. Well, we watched it last night. You watched it. I think 4 or 5 times, so it's still fresh on your brain.
It earlier in this week, actually.
I'll give the premise, the plot premise, as per IMDb. A group of friends who meet regularly for game nights find themselves entangled in a real-life mystery when the shady brother of one of them is seemingly kidnapped by dangerous gangsters. Which I feel like it's missing some very important detail in there. So this is where it gets a little dumb. But it tries to be complicated and not complicated at the same time. I'm not sure which one it was trying to be exactly. Mm-hmm. But it was very obvious from the beginning that there was some sort of twist going on. I mean, they made it very clear.
Yeah.
So we start off with our 2 main characters, which are played by Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams.
Yep. Max and Annie.
They're a married couple who love to play board games and host game nights and do trivia and stuff.
That's the literal intro. They're at a trivia night at...
Yeah, and they tie, and they're like, wow, we're made for each other.
Yeah,
which is kind of cute.
Yeah, and they're giving the same answers at the same time, and it's just okay.
Yeah. What?
Oh, never mind. I'll get into it later when we come to the bits and why this movie is...
Oh, yeah.
So great and why you're wrong about it.
And then we... And then we go into the game night, right? So we learn that they're having a hard time conceiving a child, which at first you're like, why does this matter? But it's it's mildly relevant. It's kind of the whole crux of not really the crux of the plot, but what they're trying to say is the crux of the plot, is that Jason Bateman is having a hard time coming to terms with getting old, first of all, and settling down, and that his brother's better than him.
Yeah,
those are the 2 main things, and so it's the idea is that it's stressing him out too much.
Yeah,
and then they go and have a game night with their friends. Gary, their neighbor, who is also a cop, is not invited, even though he used to be, and he's very upset about it. Yeah. Very openly upset about it. And
why? But why don't they want to invite him?
Oh, because he's a downer. He just got divorced and he's kind of a loser.
He's also a little bit creepy.
Just a tad.
I would say.
I feel like he was endearing. I feel like he was the kind of creepy that I don't know. Sybil can probably attest to this. I accept kind of creepy to a point. If it's I feel like I'm in danger, then I don't accept it. But he was an endearing kind of creepy where he was just kind of odd.
Yeah, I use the word creepy because of the one scene where he backs into his house and into the darkness, and they're just kind of do we go in?
Yeah, I do like that one.
I thought that was a creepy moment for him, and he played it so well. It was so good.
Oh yeah, no, he's such hilarious. A good actor.
That was just so good.
And then Kyle Chandler, Brooks is his character's name, the brother to Jason Bateman, shows up, and in Jason Bateman's Max, the character Max, his dream car, kind of showing off. And this pisses him off. Yeah. And so they have their game night. Brooks shows off a little too much. And then is like, hey, how about next week? We have it at my place. I rented this really bougie, really nice house, and we're going to kick it up a notch. And I swear I turned to Sybil in that moment. I was like, it's going to be some dumb murder mystery party thing. And then we get to the next scene. It's a dumb murder mystery party thing.
Yeah.
Which is like, in real life, actual cool idea for like a game night is this business that creates like a murder mystery for the entire group. They kidnap one of them, and then they have to solve the mystery. And it's really like, it's actually a cool idea. I think that should be a thing. It's like an escape room, but like in your house.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, hey, Jarvis, do you want to talk about something after this?
Well, I know they have like murder mystery things that you can buy. Yeah. And it has all the stuff, and you just kind of do it on your own. But
this one has like paid actors who break into the house and like kidnap somebody. So that's kind of cool. So the brother Brooks reveals this, and is like, we're going to do this tonight, and whoever wins game night gets the car. Which is an obvious ploy. I knew immediately. It was like he's either setting up his brother for success or failure immediately. No in between. No one else is supposed to win. Yeah, like that'd just be bad.
Yeah, nepotism. We talked about that.
Right. Yeah.
I think in somewhere else.
Star Wars.
One of our other videos. Go check it out. Find the nepotism.
Yeah.
Reference.
Find the nepotism and then comment about the nepotism. Yeah. And then while you're down there, actually, okay. Before I keep going, I found this out. It's a really cool thing that YouTube started doing. Oh yeah. I'm gonna show for us. You ready? So everybody, look at the like button right now. And when I say hit that like button, watch the little rainbow thing happen. It's neat.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Do it for the rainbow.
Do it for the rainbow. And then hit like, and then maybe hit subscribe. I don't know if subscribe does anything, but
you'll have to find out. I think there could be something really
cool.
There
could be. I don't know. I saw that. I know this is a little sidetrack. I saw that because I was watching a video where somebody was like, in this video, I'm just going to sit down and hang out with you. I'm not going to do any of that like and subscribe stuff. And the little rainbow happened. I was like, oh, this is ironic. Anyways, so we get to the game night. Yeah. As the title suggests. And Brooks tells everybody that we're about to get started. It's all about to happen. Some actor saying that he's from the FBI comes in and is like, hey, there's some dangerous kidnappers in the neighborhood, and they're going to come and take one of you, and here's your dossiers to figure it out. And they're all like, oh, yeah, because the FBI is going to use us. Well,
let me stop you for a second.
Okay.
Because you're going over the movie, but you're leaving out all the funny stuff. Because one of the so here's the thing.
My bad.
So let me go back and let me point out the funny stuff. Because I think one of the funniest lines in the actual movie is like, so we talk about the cop neighbor, the creepy, weird, Gary. Odd, socially just weird, right? Yeah. One of the things is where they just went shopping, and they step out of their car and they're carrying their bags in, and he just appears out of his house.
Oh, you talking about the Tostinos?
The Tostinos line because they show up, they carrying this bag, and there's obviously 3 large family size bags of Tostinos chips. Yeah. Yeah, scoops. and he makes he says, oh, so you guys having a game night? And they're like, no, just me and my wife, just the 2 of us. We're gonna just have a 2-person hangout thing. So they're just trying to make it like, hey, we're not gonna invite you. You're not invited. It's just gonna be a small thing. Yeah. When that's not true, obviously. It's a lie. They've invited all their friends. But he makes that line. And they're like, 3 bags of Tostitos scoops. And he was like, oh yeah, they had a buy one get 2 free deal.
3-for-1 sale.
Yeah, 3-for-1 sale. And he's like, 3-for-1.
How does that
benefit
benefit Frito-Lay?
For Frito-Lay. I think it's subtle, but I think that's one of the funniest lines. And also it pays off at the end credits.
It does. Well, all of Gary's lines paid off in the end credits.
Dude, it's so funny.
Everything he said came back in the end credits. There's another line while they're having their first game night, where one of the other characters, Ryan, brings some random girl, and she's very obviously not bright. And then I think it was Lamorne Morris's character that turned and said, "Where'd you find her? A TED Talk?" I thought that was good. No, it was Kylie Bunbury's character. She played Michelle. She was very funny too.
So, and then it's just the small stuff like them crawling in through the windows and stuff.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of small things.
Like, oh, it's Night of the Living Dead in here. And,
I think that was Rachel McAdams.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, those are good. I like that too.
Yeah, and I just love Jason Bateman's little quips and
Yeah.
like because even in the doctor's office, because they were saying about how he's like, oh, is it me? Is it my fault? And she's like, yeah, I don't really like your motility. And they start talking about his brother because he's gonna be down. He's like, oh, so we're just done talking about my sperm then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So his little quips I just love. So
yeah, that's fun.
So there's a lot of funny stuff that you're just skimming right over.
Well, they're like, so
it's the little bits that add up to the whole that make the movie.
There's a rule in comedy where something is actually funny if it's extracted from the things surrounding it. And then there's what's called injected comedy, which is things that are like subjectively funny, but in the context, like they're not that funny. And I feel like there's like a heavy mix of both in this movie.
I would say a heavy mix that is balanced.
The thing with injected comedy is that there is no balance.
I'm just gonna always speak positively about this movie.
I'm doing my very best to speak what I believe to be true, in spite of like I feel bad talking bad about any movie, including Rise of Skywalker, because like people worked on that.
Yeah,
it's like it's a big deal for a lot of people. Well, imagine you're like, Mom, I got my big break. I'm an extra on Star Wars, and then it's the Rise of Skywalker. You know, that's not your fault.
That's true. I
like how we're this far in and we're still talking shit about Rise of Skywalker, though.
Yeah, go check out that episode. But I mean, but yeah. So I'm saying like, there's some funny parts, and I think that
I agree.
From what I heard, that Frito-Lay's line was hilarious.
Yeah,
it's
it feels like that one was ad-libbed. It's like that's how subtle it was.
I hope it was because it's so good. And some of those ad-lib lines, like,
pretty good.
Yeah, they usually turn out pretty great.
Yeah.
I think that one was. How does that make financial sense for Frito-Lay?
He's Jesse Plemons.
And his delivery, his
so
delivery,
funny.
so good. Okay, so
so we got the FBI agent. He shows up and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is so great." And then like almost immediately, a couple of dudes break into the house.
Oh wait! I'm so sorry. But I have to note Jason Bateman's line. And when he says, "Oh yeah, the CIA needs our help,"
yeah,
and then you give us riddles, and it's just that's just Jason Bateman being Jason.
Oh
Bateman.
yeah,
but I love it. Okay,
yeah, no, that was yes.
the FBI needs our help too.
I did like that one. It's like, oh yeah, because the FBI would have us help them. Yeah, that's good. So two dudes break in, and Brooks is like, "Guys, I know that y'all are like method actors and all, but like busting in the door," and then they start trying to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, that whole fight scene is pretty good.
And that whole fight scene is
pretty funny.
really solid.
Pretty funny.
I was like, damn, he's good.
Yeah, taking on two guys at once. I mean,
it's pretty good. He still gets kidnapped, and everybody else is on the chairs like, drive safe, have fun, we'll see you later, because they believe it's a part of it. The FBI guy gets knocked out, and they're all like, "Oh, haha, it's all started." And then they just open up their things and start looking at stuff.
Yeah, what's his name?
You talking about the
Ryan,
guy? Yeah, Ryan.
Dude, he like kicks him a few times. He's like, "Man, this guy's really good."
Yeah,
he mentions
like, well, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he's a real
Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah,
but he's actually unconscious on the ground.
Everybody gets their little booklets on how to solve the mysteries.
Bloodless fight.
Bloodless fight. Yeah, nobody does it right.
Fight. Come on, that's funny, Ryan.
Yeah, well, I liked the what was her name? It was
his date that night. As he finds it first, we're both looking at it.
I know. Was it Glenda? I think it's Glenda. No. Whoever his date was, you'll find it. Balanced him out really well because he was kind of over the top, a little too over the top for me at times. And she pretty much just looked at him and was like, "What are you doing?"
She was good because she humbled him. It was Sharon.
Oh yes,
Sharon Horgan. She played Sarah.
Sarah, that's her name.
Yeah, she was. He kept calling her English or whatever, but she's Irish.
Yeah, and so she was just like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah.
They have a funny bit where they go off and they're like, "Oh, let's just pay off the company to tell us what the solution is."
Yeah, which has Chelsea Peretti.
Yes, and there's a funny bit where he tries to bribe her and is like, will this do it? It's like $10. She's like, no. It's like, okay. will this do it?
Yeah,
it's $15.
He's slowly pushing money across
very
the table.
slowly.
Very slowly, and the camera angles and just the...
It's so excruciatingly slow.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so funny. I thought that was funny.
No, it was a good bit.
And then the last one was the $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
it was two $1 bills.
Yeah,
it was $17, and then he was like, "Well, how much will it take for you to give us the last hint?" She's like, $100. Okay, well,
just give him
the $100. I don't have $100. How much do you have? $17.
She's like,
you only brought $17,
dude.
Which I thought was fun,
dude. That to me, that again.
And then they got the final hint.
It's all gold to me. It's all gold to me. I love it.
And then we got Kevin and Michelle's characters who are actually like trying to do it, but they're in the middle of fighting with each other.
They had their own bit because of so before the guys broke in, they were doing the drinking game, and it was Never Have I Ever, so that if you did it, you had to take a drink.
Yeah.
And one of them jokingly said, "I never have I ever had sex with somebody famous."
Yeah.
And she took
a drink very slyly.
Which starts their bit throughout the movie.
It's like, who'd you sleep with? Who was it?
Yeah, he keeps trying to figure it out.
And that we'll get to that because I'll make sure because that part was kind of funny, and I'll tell you why it was kind of funny. When do we get there? Yes. So they're trying to actually solve it. They get sabotaged and like are just fighting and break out like it was nothing. So I'll just gloss over that part. And then we got Max and Annie. That's Jason Bateman and
let me just say they were the only ones who were actually like playing the game correctly.
Yeah,
they were actually going through the clues and figuring stuff out.
Yeah,
I think they got to.
They got to the second clue.
Yeah, the second clue, which nobody else did.
Yeah, so. And they were like, I don't know what.
They were playing fairly. So
yeah,
just make a note. Shout out to them.
They played fair.
Yeah, fair.
They should have won.
But nepotism got in the way. So.
And then you got Max and Rachel McAdams who were like, let's just track his phone on Find My. And then they tracked it to some shady bar.
Yeah.
And weirdly, like, oh no, they dropped his phone in the dumpster. But they're right across over there at the bar. And then Rachel McAdams had a gun that Brooks dropped while fighting the dudes.
Yeah, they
and held the entire bar hostage for like 5 minutes. And she was like, "This is fun. We're just playing a game. Ha ha ha!" Gun being waved around, and they're all like, "Well, this is bad. We're gonna get hurt."
So there's a funny part. I thought it was funny. Maybe you didn't. Where they try to test the bartender with the drinks.
Oh yeah, and he actually does it.
They're like, okay, let's give him if he's because they thought he was an actor.
Yeah, they think everybody's an actor,
and so they were like, well, let's test his bartender. Like, let's give him a crazy order.
Yeah,
and so she goes first, and she's like, yeah, can I have a vodka tonic?
Yeah, it's like the exact drink.
Literally, it's 2 ingredients.
Yeah, and then he gets something and doesn't know exactly what it is, and he's like, it's good.
Yeah, the other, and then Jason.
I don't know this is what it is, but it's good.
Jason Bateman's character is like, oh, I'll have what do they call?
I don't know.
Harvey Wallbanger or something like that. And he was like, I've actually never had this. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. So, again, it's a small bit.
We're so good at explaining movies.
Good. We're the best. Guys, like and subscribe right now for the best reviewers you've ever seen in your life.
So anyways, they find Brooks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and he's tied up in the back room, and they're like, haha, we did it. Haha, we solved it. And he's like, this is not a game. This is not a game.
Well, wait, they did a...
Yoga?
No, the reference to Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
She did a Pulp Fiction reference.
She's a Pulp Fiction reference.
If you haven't seen that movie, go see it because we will absolutely do a review on that one. Yes, it's going to happen. Yeah. And then we're going to reference Game Night when we're talking about...
You'll reference Game Night.
I will reference that. I was like, hey, man, remember when Game Night made a reference to this movie? I think a lot of movies have, probably.
Like most of them now, yeah.
A lot of them. But they did that. Oh, Rachel McAdams, like her physical comedy with the gun, dude, like was hilarious.
Awful. She was singing into it. I was so cringy. Gun. Yeah, it was so cringy. And then she's like putting in their face. She's dropping it. I'm so scared. She was basically telegraphing that it was gonna get shot at some point.
Yeah. Well, I like the part where she was like, get on your knees, face to the ground, hands in the air. She was just throwing out all these commands.
How do you? I can't possibly do all these at the same time. She's like, no. Have you ever done yoga?
Yeah, it was very realistic to I think how cops do it in real life.
Yeah,
you're not quite sure how to do it, and then and then you get tased for not complying.
We gotta blaze through the rest of this.
Blazing.
We gotta blaze through the rest of it.
Let's
so
blaze.
They catch Brooks and they're like, haha, see, this is fun. We're doing the thing. And he's like, it's not a game. We're actually in trouble. And then the dudes break in and are actually trying to hurt them. They're like, oh, this is actually, we're in danger. And Rachel McAdams accidentally shoots Jason Bateman and is like, oh my God, actually shows the stakes, and they're like, okay, we're actually in trouble. And they get in the car, they're getting chased down. Brooks is like, there's this guy, I owe him something. They're after me. They're coming after me. You gotta leave me. And they're like, we're not gonna leave you. It's like, okay, but you can't call the cops because then they'll get me. It's like, okay, we won't call the cops, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. If somebody says don't call the cops when there's obviously stuff going on, call the cops. Go to a hospital.
I mean, yes, I don't think it's that crazy because obviously his brother's done some very illegal things.
Well, yeah.
He still wants to protect his brother. He still loves him even though he's, not a good person.
I'm just giving general advice. Your life is not a movie.
Yeah,
Get help.
Yeah, please do that. But in reference to this movie.
Yeah. Whatever. They're having a game night.
Yeah.
They're just having fun.
Yeah.
And then I believe Brooks jumps out of the car, is like, don't come after me. This is all my fault. And they're like, well, we got to go after him. But not before they fail to get the bullet out of Max's arm, which isn't actually in the arm. I'll blaze through the
bits in this one. Super funny. One of them is that
didn't watch it. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. Did not watch this part.
Are you serious? Oh,
gross.
Because of the bullet hole.
And it went way too long.
Oh my God,
it went way too long.
I think it was just enough. But there's a whole bit with her phone. They're trying to get this bullet out.
It's like a 5-minute scene.
Yeah, you know how your phone after a while it'll get dimmer before it turns off, and she keeps, because she's doing stuff with her hands to try to get the bullet. Mm-hmm. She's touching the phone with her nose, and she's scrolling down the page. They're on some kind of website to how to get a bullet. She Googled how to get a bullet.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit where he's like, go into your settings and you can turn off the screensaver thing. And and they're having going back and forth. No, I'm just gonna do it this way. And he's like, no, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that hard. And she's just touching with her nose. And then the other bit in there was that it was kind of gross, and so they start doing the
yeah.
And then he's like, no, don't do that, because if you do that, I'm gonna do it. And then they're just go back and forth which I loved. I know you hated it. I loved it.
So basically, this turns into a copy of the Maltese Falcon, where if you ever heard of the Maltese Falcon, it's I've
heard of the, what is it? Peanut butter Falcon?
The Peanut Butter Falcon, also good. Yeah. But the Maltese Falcon created a trope called the MacGuffin. And the MacGuffin, in this case, is the egg, the Fabergé egg that they have to find to get...
definition of a MacGuffin.
To swap with Brooks. And so the people who kidnap Brooks call, and they're like, hey, meet us at midnight or he's going to die. And they're like, oh, that's in an hour. So they have to go to this dude's place. Oh, actually, they have to figure out who the dude is, so they go back to Gary, and they're like, Gary, it's game night. We got to play game night right now in your house. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's some funny bits in there.
There's some good funny bits.
This is the one we mentioned earlier. He creepily goes back into his very dark house.
Yeah.
Jason Max bleeds all over.
Yeah, his house and his dog.
His ex-wife's shrine.
And all of the weird ex-wife stuff. Just to look in the cop database for the aliases for these guys.
And they get out of there real quick.
And then they get out real quick, really quick. They could play one round of Jenga, and then he's like, oh no, I lost. All right, let's go, everybody. And he's like, okay, bye. And so they go to this rich dude's house where there's some more bits. There's hobo fighting.
Yeah, Ryan's character... or Ryan,
a bunch of rich dudes dressed up in suits on a Saturday or a Friday evening, because that's what rich people like to do in their free time is wear suits.
He mentions earlier that he read an article
about
that rich people are doing fight clubs.
Yeah,
they pay that off.
Yeah, it's paid off. All the rich people are wearing suits because that's what they do, right?
Yeah,
rich people love wearing suits.
And also the safe where the Fabergé egg was right in the middle of the room.
Right, for some reason, and it's just opened casually. Yeah,
because it's behind a painting.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit to CinemaSins for that one.
Yeah,
because I did watch the CinemaSins, and that's what I think brought up the game night for us anyways.
Oh yeah, because you watched it.
Yeah, well, because I love it, but also Simpsons recently did.
Oh, I didn't know it was recent. That's kind of fun.
That was so. But anyways, that was one of the things they mentioned.
Yeah, and so Ryan's like, "There's the egg," and so he just quite literally walks over there, grabs it, and they're all like, "Why are you grabbing that?" He's like, "I'm also rich." And then just starts running and booking it. And then they have this fun little Scooby-Doo chase around the house where they're like tossing the egg around.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
A little bit. And also went on just a little bit too long, but it's fine because it was a Scooby-Doo type thing. It's kind of fun.
They have their serious talk.
Where they start to uncover the issue with Max. Not wanting to have kids because he feels like he's going to lose out on life. Right.
And her position is no, like life is just going to be starting for us.
Right.
Like it's wonderful, like having kids, starting a family. So.
Right. And then they meet up with the guys. Well, actually, while they're trying to meet up with the guys, the egg breaks. And they're like, "Oh no, it's broken!" But there's a little piece of paper with some private information from people in the witness protection program in it. And they're like, "We're here. The egg's broken, but we have the list." And the guys are like, "Okay, yeah, give us the list."
Yeah.
And then this is where we find out that this whole part was just a ploy for Gary to prove to everybody that he's actually a fun person to be with at game night. They're hired actors. The two people that actually kidnapped him, they're hired actors. And the hired actors
twist number one.
Yeah.
They're hired actors.
Yeah, that's the twist. And so Gary was like, "Yeah, see, I'm really cool, and I saved you guys." He fakes getting shot and everything.
Very elaborate.
And then they're like, "Well, what about the Fabergé egg? Like, what's the list?" And he's like, "What list?" He pulls it up and he goes, this is like a witness protection program list. Like, where did you get this? And then he gets shot again in the arm, but actually shot. Yeah. The actual bad guy shows up and he's like, "That's my list." Which
is Michael C. Hall.
I think so.
He played Dexter in the show Dexter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, that was him. It's the guy.
And then they're like, "Well, we'll just give you the list, and then you don't pay Brooks, and we're good." And Brooks was agrees. He was like, "Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that's fine." He was like, "Well, why would he agree with that?" To that, Brooks grabs the list and just shoves it and swallows it, and they're like, "Well, dude, we'll just like put you on the jet and cut it out."
He's like, "It'll buy some time." He's like, "We're just gonna cut your stomach open on the jet on the way over.
Get it anyway."
Yeah,
you dummy. So they grab Brooks, and Brooks is like, "Don't follow us." And we missed the part where the keys in the jacket pocket, and Brooks is like, "See, I set this whole thing up so that you could win."
Is revealed.
Yeah, so the whole thing was set up so that you could win, so that I could give you your dream car because of all the things that I did to you as a kid or whatever. And so Jason Bateman's got the keys to his dream car, but the dudes shoot the tires of all the cars before they leave so that they can't be followed.
Yep.
And then Brooks very clearly is like, "Do not follow us." And so they drive off, and it's like the closest airport's like right next to where Brooks was renting the place. So
conveniently,
yeah, it's conveniently. So let's just follow him. They're like, "Well, we don't have a car," and he goes, "Yeah, we do," and jingles the keys.
Conveniently.
Next scene. On the plane, they're like, "I'm gonna stab you." No, and then the like whip cut to the car crashing through the gate.
Oh yeah, going around the corner.
There's Jason Bateman in his dream car, and they
driving onto
the tarmac, and the plane's taking off, and the plane's taking off, and okay, something happened. Sorry, we're at new studio, technical difficulties.
Yeah, new studio. Who this?
We're having fun. We're having a great time. So Jason Bateman starts driving the car and cuts off the tire and doesn't get crushed by the plane somehow, but the car crashes.
Yeah.
There's this whole shebang with the bad guys and him trying to like get the jump on them, and then he fails at it, and then Rich Mike Adams shows up and is like,
"Well, there's a whole other bit with the charades thing."
Oh yeah, they do charades.
He calls out. He's like, "This is some full circle."
Yeah.
Because they did a charades earlier.
Yeah, they did
in the movie.
They did a charades thing.
So basically, he charades to her because the guy's looking for her. She's around the little baggage claim thing, and he's like, "Hey, hit the switch," because there's a big box. she hits the switch and it's going so slowly. It's supposed to go over and hit the guy, so he's
it's going too slow.
So he just walks out of the way.
The dude's watching. Yeah, the dude's just watching it, and then Rachel McAdams goes and grabs a fire extinguisher, just bashes it over his head. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then the dude dies by the jet.
Yeah, well, there's another bit because she says, "Wait, I'm
a mother." He's like, not with that ass.
Yeah, not with that ass.
So really,
and she was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, and then that good dude gets sucked up into the jet because that's the thing that happens.
She says her cute line, "Oh no, he died."
Yeah. Oh no, he died.
I mean, it's Rachel McAdams. She's just cute.
And then Jason Bateman's fighting Dexter, basically.
Yeah.
And is losing, and then Rachel McAdams comes in with her fire extinguisher and just beats him over the head again. And it's like, I got the drop on him.
Yep. Save the day.
And then that's where Brooks does his little cute line where he goes, "You guys won game night." And they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "No, but wouldn't that be crazy?"
That's where they're dumb. Yeah, that's where they're. That's the joke. Yeah, it was kind of like the previous joke with Jason Bateman. Like, oh, this is some full circle.
Yeah. It's very tongue in cheek. Like, it's self-aware. It's the kind of thing that, like, as a dude who wrote a movie about three guys making a movie, I understand it. It's to protect your ego, and that's fine. But like, come on.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
Like, you can point it out, but that doesn't make it better.
Again, yeah. That, like, going back to our beginning of this video, I think it's like if you're more of a casual moviegoer, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's a very like turn off your brain, go watch a movie.
Turn off your brain, just go watch it, laugh at the bits, and have a good time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but if you can't turn off your intellect, your IQ's always up, you might find a lot of plot holes and things that don't make much sense.
Yeah,
ask CinemaSins.
Yeah, I definitely did that.
We have a whole video on it
the whole time.
Yeah.
And then there's a fun little.
Sometimes it's hard not to. I mean, I do that too.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, but like.
Sometimes a movie rubs you the wrong way, like shortly into it, and you're like, I don't want to watch this.
Non-consensually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the fun things that made this movie happen.
I would love to.
Great.
It's so fun. The movie is fun.
Like your face is so convincing. So let's play a fun.
Real emotions.
Let's play a fun game night.
It's a real deal,
right?
Okay.
You like the guess how much the budget for this movie was?
80 mil.
37.
Oh,
$37 million to make this movie.
Wow. How did they do?
Opening weekend, $17 million.
Okay.
Gross worldwide, $117 million.
Okay.
So it made its money back eventually.
Yeah.
Box office flop.
Yeah.
But like you were there.
You were one of those. Of me.
You were one of those $17 million.
Yeah, I watched it in theaters once, but I think I bought it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I watched it, and I've actually
a lot extra money
because I'm lazy. I've actually just rented it a few times because I don't know if my Blu-ray player's set up. And I didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, we had to rent it on YouTube TV. So, another fun little thing is that those little establishing shots where like them driving into their house and everything.
Oh yeah,
you know how they look
subdivision made it look like a
That's using a photography technique called tilt shift.
Yeah,
where the foreground and the background are out of focus, so that the subject in the middle looks smaller.
I've seen other videos like that on YouTube.
Yeah, so it was to make it look like it's a little board game. I thought that was neat.
It's pretty neat.
There's a lot of like.
Tell us more neat things.
There's a bunch of little like small things too, like the.
How small?
I'm so done with you. I'm done with you on this one. There's like the gun that Rachel McAdams accidentally shot Max with.
Yeah,
is a revolver.
Yeah,
the ones where you have to like turn the barrel and recock the hammer for them to shoot twice.
Yeah,
you can't just bang and then drop it and then bang again. So that's kind of neat.
Cinema Sins over here.
Let me do the other fun thing. So usually when I'm watching the movie, I get a little curious about things, and so I start digging. So the writer of the movie was also the writer for Herbie Fully Loaded.
Hey, you remember that one?
I do.
With our favorite actress, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, she's great. And then there's one of the two directors. And this is a really fun dynamic that I learned. Jonathan Goldstein, one of the two directors for this movie, was also the director for the new Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Hey, that one was pretty fun.
He was also a writer for Spider-Man: Homecoming. And he was also a writer.
You know, I like my Spider-Man movies.
This one's gonna be the twist. Also a writer for The Flash.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, weird dichotomy here.
We got that episode
really good,
recorded already.
Really
that one's coming. That one should be coming out soon.
Before this one.
Before this one.
Way before this one.
Yeah, way before this one. So me saying that has.
Also the writer for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too.
Okay, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's good.
Yeah, so he's got a weird lineup.
Well, he's got a sense of humor.
That's fair.
We could tell by all the hilarious bits in this movie.
We can also tell by the hilarious bits in The Flash, like the baby in the microwave.
Yeah, well, that one wasn't great.
Probably him.
If you haven't seen our Flash episode, go see it because we talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, the other guy, Jonathan Francis Daly.
Yeah.
Daly. Was also in Dungeons and Dragons. And worked on. I think he was a writer. Hold on, let me confirm. He was also a writer for The Flash and for Spider-Man: Homecoming. So that's neat.
Yeah,
they kind of work together.
Yeah, I mean he's written and been a part of more movies than I have. So.
Yeah, true. The two Johns, Jonathan Goldstein and Jonathan Francis Daly.
Yep. There's that.
Yeah, that's all I had set up for this. It's not much of like a. I mean. Let's be real. It seems like a very cut and dry. Like this was an obvious, like fun little thriller to put together. It didn't cost very much in terms of movies.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it and why you should watch it. It's simple. It's fun. I don't know that it's meant to be like this crazy deep mystery movie.
It's not a blockbuster. It's just kind of there.
It's just a gut buster because it's so funny.
That was a better joke than anything in the movie.
No freaking way, dude. That Frito-Lay's line, killer. And of course, the end credits too.
No, the end credits were really good.
So again,
I did like the end credits.
Full-time movie fans, when it comes to like movies, for me, if you're asking me, Mr. Jarvis. No, that's my
Mr.
dad.
Jarvis.
Call me Jarvis. Mr. Jarvis is my father. If you're asking me, I say, dude, it's just gonna be a fun time. Like if you're in a loosey-goosey mood and you just wanna relax and turn your brain off for a night and pop some popcorn and eat some bad food and watch a good movie, a great movie, then you'll put on a game night and have a laugh, big old belly laughs.
What I can say is that I do have a rewrite.
Okay. Before that.
Okay.
Before that, well, that's very important. That's a very deep thing. Be honest with me. Tell me your favorite bit from the movie. I know you have a favorite bit because there's so many bits in the movie. Oh, we didn't even talk about the reveal.
Oh, that was probably the best bit. You want to know why? Yeah, you want to know why?
Tell the.
So the reveal was that the Michelle, the celebrity she slept with, was Denzel Washington. It was not Denzel Washington.
Yeah, so
that was the reveal from that gag.
Which is funny also because he guessed Denzel. It's not Denzel, was it?
No, I wish.
No, yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, thank goodness."
And it was Denzel.
Who would want their significant other to have been with Denzel Washington? He's like one of the most amazing people and slash actors.
I'd be honored, to be honest.
You'd be honored
to
have his sloppy seconds.
The reason why that bit really landed for me is because we watched that scene, and as it was unveiling, I went, "That's not Denzel." Went to IMDb, scrolled over, saw the dude's name was not Denzel, and I went, I am the fool.
Yeah.
I am not.
Actually, sorry. His name is Malcolm X Hughes.
Yeah.
He's the guy who played
not Denzel.
Not Denzel. Yeah,
that's his actual character name is not Denzel.
Yeah.
Which
so
is funny.
that was a funny bit because he won't let it go. He's like, you need to tell me who this is. And then when they finally reveal it and they give us a backstory, she tells the story, I think, first. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, nah, I don't believe you.
And then she shows a picture.
Yeah, they shows a picture. And then when you look at the picture.
It's like huge honking nose.
And
not Denzel Washington.
He's like, you see it now, don't you? It's the nose.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that she was not, in fact, with Denzel.
Right. And all is forgiven.
I guess. I mean, he can't really fault her. They were on a break.
True. Sort of.
Yeah.
We know too much about these people's relationship from the 5 minutes they get in the movie.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I like too is that they gave all the characters some time, like Ryan and Sarah and their team up. That they had some funny stuff. Like, dude, I don't know. I just love all of it. I'm sure I'm biased, but just even when they were going and she was like. The whole thing, he's like, oh yeah, that's not a date. She's like, yeah, totally, and he's like, oh yeah, if it's not a date, why are you wearing lipstick? Mm-hmm. And she's like, it's not lipstick. And then he tries to touch her mouth, and when she says in her Irish accent, you don't just go and touch a girl's mouth. She has an accent, I don't. But then he's like, oh, because she tries to bite him. He's like, oh, there's lipstick. I don't know. I just think it's all just fun.
It's cute little banter. It's a little goofy.
Yeah.
It's a goofy movie.
No.
And if you want a better goofy movie, you can watch a goofy movie.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
You guys like the Goofy movie?
We have to.
That was a good one.
That movie is actually one of my favorite. A Goofy movie. It's
that one and an extremely Goofy movie are two fantastic.
I don't know if I've ever even been
pieces of cinematic history.
I don't think I've ever been through the entire extremely Goofy movie, but I know the first one.
The first one is too iconic. I will admit.
With the Possum Pals.
Yeah.
We'll have to. We need to do that. I am always down to rewatch that movie. So whenever
that was one that we
will do that one for sure because I will watch that movie at any suggestion, any reason or excuse to watch that movie. I'll watch.
Leave a comment below telling us your favorite Goofy movie.
Yeah. Tell us. Well, tell us what some people, some of our friends in real life are telling us to. Watch certain movies. It's like, put it on a comment, bro.
Put it on the comment. If you tell us in person, we will not remember.
We will never.
If you put it in a comment,
well, no, we'll do it. We'll do it for sure. So do that if you want it.
Leave like 5 million comments.
Yeah,
telling us to watch one movie. I would love to see how that ends up. In the
if you want, for sure. Because there's so many. There's 5 million. There's more than probably 5 million movies.
I would hope so.
Probably. So let us know which one of those 5 million you want us to watch.
Statistic anomaly. Would you like to hear my proposed rewrite for this movie?
Yes, we were going to get to that. Yeah. And this is the moment where we do that. So yes. Here we go.
As scheduled. This whole thing,
right
by the way,
on time.
The new season, it's extremely scripted. There's a teleprompter right behind us.
We're reading all
We're reading every single word.
It's been read off
every single word. No, there's not enough. There's not enough time in the world for that. Okay, so it's a really simple rewrite.
Every hair on our heads is where they should be.
Yeah, perfectly placed.
Yeah,
there's actually a $5 million studio behind us. We just make it look like we're on a couch.
We fake poor
for fun. Yeah, for fun.
These clothes just make it more realistic, so y'all can believe how poor we are.
Okay, so very simple rewrite.
Yes.
Very simple. The rewrite is that Brooks did plan it all from the beginning. And that the twist is that towards the middle of it, Brooks is like, no, this is really actually like a problem because he knew that his brother was not going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And he wanted his brother to take it seriously, be able to overcome like his brother being better than him and put all this to rest. That's it. That's all. That's like the major change. So it have to be rewritten into the bits.
Well, so then basically at the end where he was like, congratulations, you've completed the game. He wouldn't just come back and say, no, I'm just kidding. He would just be like, it was all me. It would be like WandaVision. It was
it was
Brooks all along.
Yeah. And I think that would have made it at least like more coherent and deep instead of it being like three separate. Like this one was planned, but this one was overtaken by this one, but now this one was overtaken by this one. It'd be like wrap it all up, and it was actually Brooks the whole time to try to make his brother feel better about things and like give him a gift.
That
you know,
nice.
It's like nice set up the ultimate game night for his brother
because he feels guilty about always being a cheater and a liar.
Yeah,
playing,
and the writers obviously knew that because they wrote in the line. And you won game night, I didn't plan this.
Okay,
That's crazy.
Then how do they explain? They would have to change how they explain how he has all this money. And he's not actually a criminal,
right?
Which is what he was in this. In the version they made.
In the spirit of the movie, he could have just made like a throwaway line about how he invested in Teslas early or something, you know,
or that he invested in Panera early on, and that was the truth.
Yeah, and that he like has a bit of every Panera.
Yeah.
And it just to be there. So it's like
Dang it, now I want a freaking Red Bull with their tomato soup in it. Tomato soup Red Bull.
I'm not a huge Panera fan, but
I used to not be.
But
they're a little bit pricey.
Red Bulls can be pretty solid.
What's better than eating your bowl after you finish using it?
Fair.
Nothing.
Less dishes for them.
Game night. Watching game night.
A Goofy movie.
Yeah,
is better.
When it comes to movies, this has got to be one of the greatest of all time. I'm just kidding.
What would you rate it? What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10 twists of a movie in a movie, for me, because I'm biased, I would probably give it like on a scale from like, let's say like Everything Everywhere All at Once is the 10. Is the 10.
Undisputed.
For me, I'd give this a 9.8. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. This is okay.
You trying to pull a triple twist right now?
Yeah, I know. It's literally probably like a 6.5. But like because of my personal bias towards it, honestly, like a 7.5 for me because I just love it. Like I love Jason Bateman. I love all the stupid, corny bits of it.
It knows what it is.
I love the characters. They're all hilarious, most of them, and I just had a good time, man, watching it. I just had a good time. Is that okay? Can I just have a good time?
Yeah.
Let me have a good time.
I'd give it a 2 and then a 1 and then a 3.
Out of twists. 3 twists out of 10. Yeah, it was a little convoluted at the end with all the twists. It's just hard to keep track of. But, I mean, again, like, for me, I love Jason Bateman. Like, Jason Bateman, please come on our podcast one day. I listen to yours, so it's only fair.
Okay, Jarvis, hit the outro.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
It.
Oh, okay.
No, you can do it. That's fine. You can do
it. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. This was game night, our game night review. If you had a good time, or even if you didn't, if you like game night, or even if you didn't, if you watched it, or even if you haven't, we wish you the best.
Watch it.
We hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more. Come visit us next time for the next review. It's gonna be for us in a few minutes, but it's gonna be great. Do you want to give a little hint to the next one? All right, we'll see you next time.
Hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do you?
You should subscribe to this channel right now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them. Show this to them.
Prove it to us you got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah, prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Nerd.